Hello fellow YouTubers, Jay Hunto's Garage here with another installment on project cars. Encouraging you, if you're young, you want to get into working on cars, or even you're even retired and you want to work on cars as a hobby, restore a car, whatever makes you happy, do it. Including project cars such as this one. This is a 97 Camaro. Not my first choice for a project car, and really too new for me to consider a project car, but I took it on as a project to do with my daughter, who was in high school at the time, and we got to do some work on it, but honestly, with my job and her schedule, we didn't really get to do too much on it, and most of it was engine work before I even got to the body stuff, so she wasn't really able to do much, and she started working and whatnot. So anyway, life got in the way, and so I'm having to finish it, which I'm doing slowly, and I'm actually enjoying it, and have grown fond of the car when normally I didn't like this body style. I mean, honestly, if you look at this from an aerial view above, all it needs is two antennas sticking out of the front of it, and the thing looks like a cockroach going down the road. Anyway, it's pretty fun to drive. Even though it's a V6, it's got 200 horsepower, 230 foot-pounds of torque, and a 3.8 liter Series 2, which is alright. And the engine's got a lot of, I don't know, race parts in it. Roller cam, roller rockers, windage tray. I believe it's got piston rings with snap rings in the sides. They're not pressed fit. So that's all race car stuff that I was after big time when I was racing a 65 Mustang. So it's been quite pleasant actually, except everything's electronic on it, and that bugs me. I got a car that's too technical. You got to have computers and scanner and all that, and I've got most of it, and I've learned a lot just going through the YouTube videos with some of the other YouTube people that are trying to help everybody with repairs and whatnot. So it's actually gone pretty well driving it. Going to be painting it here shortly, and things I like about it: four-wheel disc brakes, ABS. It handles very well for what it is. 3,300-pound car with a V6. It does okay. And T-tops, not my favorite. I've always got the covers up in there to keep the sun off of me at night. They're wonderful. They do leak, but I think T-tops kind of get a bad rap for leaks because you got to change the seals in them. They'll leak if you don't change the seals. So change the seals and they'll stop leaking, generally. And AC works excellent in it. That's a good thing. And maybe in the future I'll do some autocross with it, whatever. It's automatic though, but should be alright. Anyway, you're racing against yourself. Next thing with this car that I like is I just changed the carpet. That's in another video, and I'll be pulling door panels soon and putting new speakers in. Just put the radio back in. I bought a cover for the dash because the dashes in these go bad. I mean, quickly. That ought to be a class action lawsuit. Anyway, back to project cars. If you're into one, it doesn't matter what it is. You can work on anything and enjoy it. I've had 80s Honda Preludes. I just had 2 of those. I've had Camaros. I've had Volkswagens. I've had British cars. MGBs, Morris Marina, the one that they absolutely trashed on Top Gear, and it was yellow, just like that one. Even that car was okay to work on over there, you know, when you could, and I was young and anything was new. So it was all enjoyable. It's all a learning experience, and it is all valuable for helping you out in the future, helping out other people. It's all great knowledge. It's another tool in your tool belt, mentally, and pick up tools as you go. It all works. So when whatever you've got, you know, even if your friends have a project car, go over there and help them work on their car. You'll learn something, I guarantee it. Even better yet, you may teach somebody something and help somebody. My very first car was a 77 Ford Granada. It was my first car. It was my way to get out, my freedom. So yeah, I liked it. A Granada. And if you're too young to know what that is, look it up. You'll probably think it's pretty cool. Although it wasn't cool when I was driving it. And it wasn't cool for a long time afterward that. But funny how things come around full circle. You might actually enjoy it. I did. It's in the same family as the Ford Fairmont that Eric the car guy has, which is kind of funny. But great projects, and it just goes to show you, you can work on anything. Anything's a project, no matter what it looks like. Anything you can learn from, anything you can enjoy. So anyway, go out and work on something. Watch some car show. Eric the car guy. Scotty Kilmer, who's the other guy? My Classic Car, great shows, even the old episodes, even Wheeler Dealers. Don't try and be a wheeler dealer if you're not really up on what you're doing, but you can learn a lot, especially about different kinds of cars that you'd never get a chance to work on. I mean, for God's sakes, people restore minis, Datsun 510s, and they race them, and they have a great time. So go race something. Go even autocross. Work on something. Make it your own. Customize it. Restore it back to the way it was. Either way, you'll enjoy it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, and look for more videos in the future regarding this car and whatever else I may be working on, like this thing. Take care. One more thing I want to tell you about these Camaros that I was not expecting to find. It's this carrier bearing. This basically has a two-piece drive shaft going from the transmission to the rear differential, and it's got this carrier bearing in between, somewhere in between, which supports the drive shaft, and I think it's only the V6 cars that have them. I might be wrong on that. But what a nightmare this thing is. I don't know why they need it. I don't know why they decided to. Cars have forever been made with drive shafts that don't have carrier bearings. Normally this is something you see with a long box truck or something with a really long drive shaft that needs some support in the middle. So beware of that if you're going to get a Camaro. I don't think Mustangs or really any other car has those, but this was a big surprise for me. What I ended up doing was going to Scotty's drive line and just buying an entire drive shaft and replacing it like normal cars have. Anyway, that is about the screwiest thing on this car that I've come across, other than body control module. What the heck is that? I know exactly what it is, but why? I don't know why they decided to do that. But anyway, beware of that. It's about the weirdest thing on this car you'll have to deal with if you decide to get a 4th generation Camaro. There's also forums, there's YouTube, there's car clubs, Car shows are awesome to talk to people about their cars. Everybody's anxious. So if you're at a car show, you're walking around and you see people sitting behind their cars, they're there to talk to you. They may not seem like it, but I was at a car show this past weekend. That's also on my channel, the Round Rock Car Show. And I must have spent a good hour talking to this guy about his 82 Camaro and his son's Chevy Citation X11. Ended up meeting another guy that had a beautiful 70-something Camaro that he bought for $600, and it was gorgeous. And also another guy that had a 76 or 78 Trans Am that was Smoking the Bandit era. If you haven't seen that movie, you ought to see that. You'll see what the big hubbub is about those cars. And get yourself a Haynes manual. In my experience, these have not been 100% accurate. For instance, my Chevy HHR, another video here on the channel about changing that engine out for a rebuilt one that I bought. It's said no ands, ifs, or buts to take the motor out from you got to pull the motor out from the bottom. Basically pull the car off of the engine and the transmission and the cross member. Well, turns out you didn't have to do it. I pulled the engine out right out through the hood like every other car, and it did just fine. I put the engine back in twice. Same deal. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks and have a great day.